Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Start Smart Podcast, where I interview founders, innovators, and business professionals with one goal: to inspire and prepare the next generation of entrepreneurs and leaders. I'm Rex Strang, your host, and without further ado, let's get right into it. Hello, everyone. Today we have Ben Aratame here with us. He's worked at the AI startup Cluey with Roy Lee, one of the most well-known AI startups out there in the Gen Z community. He's the founder of Instinct, where they've made an app that helps people get paid for user-generated content. On top of that, he's also a content creator where he has almost 200K on TikTok as well and K on Instagram. And he's doing some other cool stuff as well. But, I'll let Ben introduce himself now.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah.
I guess we could start with, we went to the same high school. I graduated in 2023, but didn't meet him. Were you there in 2023? I think you were.
No, I was actually the year after. I came the fall that you left.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. It's crazy
Yeah.
coincidence. Yeah, I guess I could start from the beginning. Yeah, I guess all this started when I started doing content creation in junior year of high school. So I was just making like talking content, and by the time at the end of high school, I was already at like 140,000 followers. So like really, most of my growth happened during like my high school years. But there, I was talking about like random things. I initially started just talking about like random things, and then I moved into like tech space and like more of like self improvement route. It also
Right.
did like a bunch of like finance videos too. Teaching like 18-year-olds how to like invest and how to use credit cards. After
Nice.
high school, I started getting to the UGC, was doing more personal content, and also
Okay,
got into
cool.
startups. About like a few months after graduation. But before that, I was a personal trainer and real estate agent
Right.
after high school.
That's awesome.
And I reached out to some like engineer at some like app, and he like built a company before, but not much about that. He like offered to buy me a book. I have a screenshot. It's actually exactly 2 years ago. He bought me a book, and it was like I don't know if you know like Naval Ravikant, but like
I think I've heard of it. I'm not too familiar.
yeah, he founded AngelList.
Okay,
Um,
cool.
and so I got his book, and I started working on like apps, and then I worked at Cali afterwards, and then a bunch of different like apps and startups. Like,
Wow.
my first role was Arcade.ai, which is like an AI product creation platform. They like make like home decor. Like you write one prompt, and it makes like a rug or like a pillowcase or like started off as like jewelry.
Right.
And then I left that for like the social aspect of my life, I guess, and went to Cluey in May. So I was there from May to like September, which is like 4 months. And in September, I decided it was like the right time to leave and just like build my own company with the other Cluey intern, which was like
Right.
my roommate of mine. He like just turned 18 in July. So like, the most natural pivot, because I did the influence marketing, did the clipping, did the merch. I grew my own Twitter from like 0 to like 12K followers. Started the UGC program, so I did like everything marketing there. I decided that like it would low-key be good if Driss and I made like a marketing agency, and that's what we started off as.
Right.
So we were making like launch videos. We were doing like UGC. We were doing like 13 UGC programs at the same time.
Oh.
I was like managing all of them, finding creators, making scripts, stuff like that. But then we realized like an agency won't scale. So typically like we pivoted into like app and software. So like we're like more B2B. That's where we actually make like 100% of our money. And then like on the app side, we have like consumers who can make money from making like short content for
Right.
like all the brands that we work with. But yeah, it's
All right.
been, I think in our first week we got to 2.4 million ARR. We were like on back-to-back calls for like 16 hours straight. Every
Wow.
second that we were awake for the first 2 weeks, we were like on calls, like doing like sales, and we were like we were doing like 30,000 per company a month to run the UGC programs. People were paying us launch videos, like people were paying like over 50K for like launch videos. But we decided to actually like, refund all that, and we've only ever actually done like 3 launch videos, and one of them didn't even come out. But yeah, we realized like UGC is something that can scale. It's something that we naturally pivoted to because that's what we did at Cluey. But that's like it for most of the context. We're at about 130,000 users now as of like 2 days ago on Methods.
Wow.
And yeah, we have like 16K 5-star reviews.
Yeah. After high school, did you have a little bit more motivation to, kind of prove yourself? Because I know in previous conversation with you, we talked about how we weren't taking things super seriously. How did your mindset change? And was it a big change, or do you think it just naturally flowed since, you did UGC back in high school as well, and you got these opportunities that stacked on top of each other, and then it came to Cluey, and then afterwards your own app.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was like when I was in high school, I wasn't really like I didn't really try at anything. So like it didn't matter whether it was like family, friends, like social or like personal relationships. It like wouldn't really
Right.
try. I wouldn't try in school. I wouldn't try like outside of it either. So like content was more of like a hobby and something that just
Right.
like
Right.
happened. It was I never like thought about it like, oh, how can I actually get more followers, more
Yeah.
money from this? I never really thought about it. It just like happened. But after high school, I remember like vividly the next morning after graduation, I was like crying to my mom, telling her like, oh, like I did nothing with my life. I took a gap semester after high school for context, and like I like watching all your friends go to like college and like
Yeah.
being at home and doing nothing is like it kind of made me realize like no one's gonna come and like give me $1 million. No one's gonna come and
Right.
give me an opportunity. I had to like do all that myself. And so like for the next like 2 years, I literally did whatever it took to like grind myself out of the hole that I was in. And I started off with personal training real estate, and because I already had a platform, and like
Cool.
I did pretty well with that. But yeah, like I was getting a lot of UGC opportunities, and I was like, oh, I'll just keep doing this. And eventually, I just kept doing marketing stuff, and made my way up the ladder, and now
Mhm.
I'm a founder. I think the main thing with the mindset change is like for me, I realized that like after quitting video games, like I realized that there's like no way for me to make it or like be successful or like help my family out or help my loved ones out or myself if I wasn't the one trying and I wasn't the one
Yeah.
like achieving everything. I guess that's the main thing.
Yeah, a lot of high schools out there, like including me, I think it's hard to find their motivation or find like a specific passion because like right now for me, there's so many paths out there that I could take. Like people say all the time to do what you love, right? But it's really hard to find that. Like for you, that kind of came at first as a hobby and then it came to be like, oh, this is actually something interesting and then turned into like a career, right? But yeah, I think it's just hard to for someone like in high school and even in college to figure out their next step. So what would you say to, a lot of these people out there that really don't know what direction they want to take?
I think the whole advice of like chasing your passions is kind of like super cliche, and I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah.
if I like totally agree with that. I think the main thing is that like a lot of doctors don't like actually filing their like medical like patients' medical reports. A lot of doctors don't like working that many long hours, but you do things because you like the impact and you like the work
Mhm,
that you like the work that
mhm.
like the effect
Okay,
of your work.
right.
And it's more of like you should chase that. Like I do not
Mhm.
enjoy like getting on like a bunch of UGC creator calls like all day every day, but I
Right.
do it because like in the end my app will succeed and like will help like thousands of other people, hundreds of
Mhm.
thousands of other people like pay off their credit card debt. Or like I've seen like one of our top creators were able to pay $30,000 off for their tuition at USC
Wow.
because of their content. And it's like things, it's like stories like that and things,
Mhm.
outcomes like that that you work hard for. It's not like the menial task that you have to do in the day. I think,
Yeah.
coming back to, like, the last question about,
Mhm.
like, the stacking the wins, I think, like, a lot of your life is dependent on whether you won in the beginning or not. It's like a winner's effect, and it's, like, this idea that, like, when you win once and you win again and again, you, like, keep winning. Like, the most confident people when they're young are, like, the most popular people, and it is because they look good, or is it because they, like, talk to more people, they're extroverted, and they keep winning. And like you will always have more confidence and you will
Mhm.
always have the bravery to do more things in life if you are confident. And this kind of ties into like my main advice of like trying everything at
Mhm.
least once. Because the more things you try, the easier it is for you to find your passion and
Right.
purpose. I think for me, like I had to try like millions of things. Like I tried drop shipping, I tried like making paid ads for
Wow.
apps. I tried design, growth, coding, like I tried everything that like
Wow.
you can even make
Yeah.
money from online before I like landed on the fact that oh, content and startups is like my thing. And because of that, like I've also learned a lot of skills. Like I knew going into methods, like how to run like meta ads and how to like talk to
Right.
people on sales calls because like I've done it before. And yeah, I think it's pretty cliche too, but it's like try everything as much as possible. And like a lot of people like or our age will make excuses like I don't have enough time because of school. I don't have enough time because of something. But the truth is like everyone has time. There's been like millions of people who have or like thousands of people who have gone to like Harvard, Stanford and had like more packed up schedules than people at Georgia Tech. And like people at Georgia Tech will be the ones that are like, oh yeah, like I can't do that. I don't have time. Or like, when you give like the average person the option to do content, like, yo, I'll help you do content, but they're like, nah, I don't think my personality is a match for that. Like I was super introverted when I started
Yeah.
content. Like I was not the person, like no one expected me to do content. But the truth is like everyone can succeed. Imagine if for 4 years instead of college, the norm was that you would create content. If for 4 years you did that and
Mhm.
you spent 8 hours every single day, 5 days a week, then you would probably succeed. You would probably have 1 million followers by the end of it. And like most
Yeah.
people would. And I think the biggest thing to do, like the biggest advice I'd say is like once you try everything, at least once, you have to figure out what is the best thing to work on. Like for me, it could have been content, but I realized that like startups is a great intersection of like tech and content, and that's why like it works out so well for me because like I don't really like structure. I don't really like telling people to like telling me what to do, and so like
Mhm.
startups was like perfect for me because I can do any task. I can do multiple jobs at once. Yeah, I can like I think building companies hella fun.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, man. I love that. I think the hardest thing is just for people to start. They see someone else doing like maybe I'm doing the podcast, someone's like, oh, I could do that too. But the difference is that I started it and they didn't, right? And that's I think that in itself is a big step. And once you have that first win, I think you can get like as you said, a lot more wins stacked on top of it. I know you tried a lot of these different things, right? I can imagine how hard it was for you to keep your motivation during that time after high school where you were trying all these things and there was a bunch of failures that you had to go through. You kind of need this
extrinsic motivation from like, oh, you need to impact these people or you want to prove yourself or something. Was that like also the mindset you had like after high school? Like,
I think the main thing is like low-key, I think if you ask like a lot of successful people, like
yeah,
they'll probably tell you that like their motivation was like, oh, they need to like feed their family or like they need to make it up for
yeah,
their
yeah.
family. But it's probably not true. Like I don't think that a lot of people do
Hmm.
succeed just because like they need to like save their family. Like I don't think people do that. I think people like love what they do. If they're one of the greats, like you have to enjoy what you're doing. Like there
Right.
is no way that I would build a company for 18 hours a day for like eight
Hmm.
months in a row if like I didn't enjoy what I was doing. And like I don't think there's like I don't know. I don't know if it's like motivation. I think that like if you like doing something, you'll be able to do it for a really long time. Like when I was able to play video games, like I could have played like 24 hours in a row without sleeping.
Hmm.
That's how much I enjoyed it. And like I think the same about building a company. Like maybe I don't enjoy it as much as like I can do like I can build a company for like 18 hours
Yeah,
a day
yeah.
and I'd be completely fine. But even if the work was very like boring compared to like any other job that I could do. Same with content. Like I could do that 18 hours a day. Like and I would have no problem. And I think it's like less about motivation and something that you actually enjoy doing. Whether that's like I don't know if that's like passion or like hobby. Yeah, I think like people don't just like work hard because they need to like save their family. Like nobody's thinking that
Hmm.
like 18 hours a day. Um, but I mean, I think there's like short like bursts of like cortisol or like dopamine that
Hmm.
you get from
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Yeah. I think it's kind of hard to extinguish it. It's just like a short term high, or if
Yeah.
it's just something that I actually would want to do for like maybe a career. Like for example, this podcast. I mean, like I like talking to other people. Like one of the main reasons I started something like this is just to talk to as many people as I can and learn from them.
Mhm.
It's been going great so far, but it's hard like when it gets tedious to edit every single episode. But you
Mhm.
kind of have to still have that like passion from the outside. For example, I've talked to a lot of founders on that podcast in the past, and they say that it's really important to have that motivation as well, added on to doing what you love, right? Because when you get
Mhm.
like 30 rejections from something, it being what you love isn't really gonna motivate you to get past it. It's more about like, the impact.
I don't know if I agree, like I don't know if I agree with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the motivation thing is like so like it lasts like a short burst. Like it's not really
Hmm.
like if anyone's telling you that they're doing something for 18 hours a day despite rejections and all that, like I don't think it's motivation. They just like innately they want to do it.
Hmm.
Like they have a more like, internal discipline and like I don't know, like I don't think I'm necessarily like
Right.
smarter than anyone. Just actually do stuff.
Yeah.
Like I don't like reading a book and not doing it.
Hmm.
Like it's like the difference between like a person who reads for completionist mindset or like if they read to shape their thoughts. Like majority of what you read out of like self-help books will be the same things over and over again. And so like once
Yeah.
your thoughts are shaped in a way, it's like, oh, I do need to have good habits. I need to wake up early. Like that is like those are like generic things that every self-help book says. But like there are people who read each book that is like out there for a completion, like a completion grade. But
Right.
realistically, like you could read one sentence of like a quote and realize, oh, this is what I should actually be doing in my life. And I think you don't need like the motivation to do that. I don't think like I think you should just genuinely like do whatever you want to do. I think like Naval says that like the
Hmm.
real test of intelligence is whether you live the life you want or not. And like there's really no other like metric of like success other than like being happy, being content with what you're doing. And I think
Yeah.
it's not even like the big picture thing. It's like do you genuinely like wake up and love every second of your life? Do you love the people that you talk to? Do you love the partner that you're with? Do you love like your family? Like these things
Yeah.
are like, way more than like having motivation. And like once you love your life, it's easier to wake up in the morning. It's easier to do the work that you need to do.
Hmm.
You know?
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Definitely, you need to create the life that you want, but I think it's definitely easier said than done.
True.
I feel like for a lot of people, including myself, the ideal self that I have in my mind is different from the one that I'm living right now. For example, like I say, oh, tomorrow I'm gonna make up even like at like 8 a.m. or something like that, like for on the weekend, and then I end up waking at 11, or like I'm gonna go to the gym at this time, but then I end up not going because it's too late. I like these are on a small scale, but I feel like they can impact your life. How do you kind of manage this like balance between what you love or like just doing whatever you want?
I mean, I think that like as long as you're like your actions align with your goal,
Hmm.
I don't think it necessarily has to be like a specific like time. Like I'm thinking like I don't like wake up at a certain time. Like there are days
Yeah.
where I wake up at like 1 p.m. There are days when I wake up at
Yeah.
like 5 a.m. But it's like dependent on like what I'm doing in my life. Like let's say like you want to lose weight, right? Like if losing weight is your goal, you don't have to go to the gym every day. You could just play like a recreational sport for like the same amount of hours, and you might
Yep.
actually get more like you might actually lose less like more calories by that.
Mhm.
I think I don't know. People like focus
But
so much on like the little parts of life that like their habits like when do you sleep or when do you like wake up like obviously
yeah.
those are important like timing is a very important thing in sleep but that is more for recovery like I don't sleep a lot I don't like sleep at a certain time every day like it's probably different every single day but like generally like my life
Mhm.
I like my life I like every day that I wake up and like
Yeah.
lifting and like gym is like something thing that I subconsciously do because I love lifting. Like I like it.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
like that's
It's
why
harder to do if you don't love it or have motivation towards it. Like, for example, people consistently running every day are training to run a marathon or something that
Mhm.
they love running in general. Or, yeah, I think it's hard because I think also it can be learned as well. For example, maybe someone who's not as fit, they start going to the gym. They hate it at first, but they get more into it. So I don't think for viewers out there, just don't do the hard things.
You can achieve the same goal with like a different method. Like if there's like a million ways to get rich, but I chose startups and content because I actually love doing it. But I could have gotten rich from like anything else. Like I could have just like worked somewhere. I could have just like I don't know, done like an agency. Like I could have gotten rich like a million ways. But like I chose to do the two things that would get me rich, and also like I enjoy doing. But like I think like lifting is like, oh, if you want to build muscle, like you should probably lift. But
Yeah.
like there's other ways to do it. If you want to
Yeah.
wake up, like I don't know why you would want to wake up at the same day every day, at the same time every day, other than for
Yeah.
health. But it's like if you wake up late, if you know you wake up late, just set the meetings to be later and
Yeah.
like do the work. You still have 16 hours in the day, you know?
Yeah.
If you're sleeping 8 hours every day, like you still
Yeah.
have 16 hours.
Yeah, would you still like say that people should push themselves though, like to do things that they might not want to do in order to achieve their specific goal, or do you think they just should try to find the best path for themselves?
So I think it's dependent on what you think is the best for you. I think like if you're like truly like your main goal in life is to like wake up at an early time,
Yeah.
like I guess like yeah, do the hard stuff. But like for me, like my main goal like in fitness would be like certain amount of muscle or like a certain amount of like PR. And I think like for that, like I don't have to sleep at the same time every day. And if my goal is like to be insanely rich, I don't have to wake up at a certain time every day. I know that even if I wake up at 1 p.m., I can still achieve that same goal. And it's like
Right.
and also like I don't know,
I like
people
that.
when they're
Yeah.
improving their lives, they kind of just focus on like self-improvement and they kind of like beat around the bush of like what actually is important
Yeah.
to work on. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people when they're like starting a company, they will like just think about so many ideas instead of actually trying anything. And like if you like sat down, you could get like a logo done, you could get a domain, you could get like a vibe coded website and like literally like an hour of work.
Yeah.
Like people
Yeah.
just focus on the wrong things in life. And like I don't know, like
Yeah, I see what you
everyone,
mean.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they're focusing on like yo, like why would you focus if you're super broke? Why are you more focused on your like sleep timing rather than
Yeah.
like what's the next thing that'll make you a good amount of money?
I think people will go the wrong direction. I think it's better to go the other way around. Have the motivation first, or the goal you're working towards first, and then the rest will come along. Like say you're working on like the company,
I do
right?
agree.
You have like the company that you're working on, and maybe while in the process of working on the company, like you'll have to do all these other things, like maybe wake up earlier. But yeah, I think that might be a better way for people to approach that, right?
Yeah, like I don't know. Like I feel like people say like saving percentage of paycheck
Yeah.
or like sleeping at a certain time, waking up at a certain time, or taking cold
Right.
showers. Like what's
Yeah.
the point in that? Just like
Or
they're just
yeah.
like things that you might not need to do. Like really think about
Yeah.
your life and think about like what would actually like move like your like the needle in your life. Like what would actually like make an impact on your life? Would it really
Right.
be like a cold shower over like actually learning a skill that would make you money or doing outreach for like a few days? Like it's
Yeah.
probably not. Like I think you'll find the answer is probably not waking up
Yeah.
at a specific time every day. Like
Mhm.
I think that's good for health, but it's like marketing.
Makes sense. Yeah, I think it's different from person to person based on their specific motivations. But yeah, definitely agree.
Mhm.
Yeah, moving back to your previous time at Cluey, how'd you find that working environment, and what did you take it away from it?
I can't remember like where I found it, but I think I saw the 50 intern video and I was like, oh wait, this would be like a fun summer thing that I could do for fun. Like I just like thought it was fun.
Right.
And then I went there and it was only me and Driss. And I think like I don't know, like I think people thought it was like super chaotic, but like bro, it was like low key the most fun I've ever had. Like
Mhm.
it was like most fun 3 to 4 months of my entire life so far. I think the last like few months of building a company was like fun, but it was like it was harder work. And like I actually had to focus. I actually had to do things. But like in Cluey, like I was low-key just like trolling and like I was like having fun the entire time.
Yeah.
Obviously I did all the marketing stuff and I think that's cool. But I think I like low-key out of the entire team, other than Roy, probably benefited the most out of it. I think I like grew the most as like Twitter followers. I grew the
Mhm.
most like clout. I think like I don't know. I was friends with everyone on the team. I don't know. Because I think like on the outside, like everyone seems like chaotic and like kind of like I guess rage baity, but like realistically, it was like more of like family. Like I think everyone cared for each other, and it was like the most
Right.
genuine time. Like I think everyone was genuine. But obviously like on Twitter and stuff, it was like the highlight reel forever.
Yeah.
Like we would go to a party, like everyone would notice us, or like
Yeah.
I don't know, it was just hella random. But it was super fun. Like everyone I met there was hella chill, and they're all tough and smart.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I think that's the best type of environment, just being around people
Mhm.
that have the same motivation as you. And also,
Yeah,
like there's a balance as well. Like you can have fun, but you can also get stuff done as well, right?
true.
Yeah. How did you transition from Cluey into being a founder afterwards?
I think like when you work at startups, it's like technically everyone's like a founder. Like if you are
Mhm.
truly doing it right, you are probably taking up more like roles and responsibilities than like you were initially given. I think that you like if as long as you have agency, like you will do things that are important that you think is important will like actually move the company. For me, I like did everything marketing. So like when we moved over
Mhm.
to like transitioning, we did was like pay for an apartment months rent like upfront and like move there. And then like literally the first day we were there, we posted a like an announcement that we like launched a new company and like the first week was flooded. I think the first call we got on was like a $30,000 deal. So like we had money right from the start. So like it was a lot easier than like other people starting a company. So the transition was very like smooth. It was
Mhm.
like instant almost. And like we shot up to like 2 million ARR like in a week. I think it was like I don't know. It was like it's such a crazy moment in my life.
Yeah, I see a lot of these people on and in high school, right? I like how real do you think that is? Because I think to actually create something, you got to put in all the hours, right?
I don't know. Like I feel like becoming successful, there's always like a different way to do it. I think like there's a lot of like there's a creator I know that like is super lazy. Like he's probably the
Mhm.
laziest person I know, but he makes like super degenerate content, which are like 15-second
Yeah.
clips, and they're like barely edited, but they're like funny and they're like off of like viral trends, and like he's smart about it. And it's like
That's
there's not
another
like a bar of intelligence. There's not a bar of like hard work or like amount of hours that you put into
Mhm.
something that like makes you like infinitely more
Yeah.
successful than someone else. Like everyone has their like route to do it. And
Yeah.
there's ways to be successful with like 1 hour of work every day. I don't think any
Mhm.
of that means anything. I think you should if you like enjoy what you're doing, you'll probably do that over anything else. Instinct and methods was something that I wanted to work on like 16 hours, 18 hours a
Yeah.
day. Like if I had not enjoyed it, I never would have done that. And
Right.
I don't know. I don't know about the high school thing. Like, I think that's fine. Like, they're probably just trying to pad their stats for college
Yeah.
apps. Like, I think it's chill. Like, look, if that's like what you have to do to get into a better college, like, why not do that? Like,
Mhm.
imagine if
Mhm.
that's the differentiator between you going to like Georgia Tech or like Stanford. Like, if you go to Stanford because you were like padding your stats with random BS, that's fine. But like for investors and for like other founders, like successful founders, like they will know that you're like a grifter. You know, it's like even me. Like, I was low-key faking until I made it. Like, I was always like, I don't know, like bumping up my stats a little bit more of like
Yeah.
the
I think
last people
everyone
that
does a
joined.
little bit, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think you should. Like, I think like
Yeah.
you shouldn't like outright lie, but like you should
Yeah.
like use words and kind of like convince everyone of your like higher worth. Because really, like
Mhm.
your perception on yourself is not what really matters in terms of like how much you get paid or how much you get from this world. It's like most like audacious people who like brag about their like stats are like the ones who actually win. Like
Yeah.
you can fake it till you make it. You can absolutely do that.
What do you think is next for you and your company? You know, I know you've had a lot of growth these past, few years from going out of high school, going through this whole journey of exploring yourself and what you want to
Mm.
do and going to Cluey and starting your company. I know you're definitely working on some cool things as well. What do you think is next for you? Where do you see yourself?
I think it like for like right now it's hard for me to believe that I'd be doing anything other than methods.
Yeah.
But I guess like things can change and I don't know. I like really think about it day by day because I
Yeah.
feel
You,
like
you kind of go with the flow more. Like,
when you think about it like 3 to 5 days from now, like you or 3 to 5 years from now, you kind of like I guess you could like you could potentially limit yourself on like what you think you can achieve because you
hmm
can probably achieve everything that you think you can achieve like a lot quicker than you can actually do it. Like I think I don't know like I used to think like it'll probably be a few jobs after Cluey that like I started a company, but like at Cluey I was like
yeah.
confident. I was like, yo, look, I could do this too.
Yeah.
And
Just
my roommate and
finding
I
the
left and we
opportunity,
just did
whatever
it.
opportunity, right, is comes to you.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So I guess like this like I don't know. I think well another piece of advice is like people should increase their surface area and like a lot of things like the concept of like I don't know if you've like heard of this but like engineering your own luck. There's like
Mhm,
ways to like increase like the chances of you becoming lucky and like the way to do that
mhm,
is like to have like three variables. It's like increasing your surface area which means like sending as many emails as possible, sending more
mhm,
DMs, like doing podcasts, like literally anything to like
mhm.
get your name out there, like making content or like doing a startup. Like I feel like these are things that like could like if you get a million views talking about your story, there's like a million people there that already know your story.
Right.
And it's like the new generations, like everything nowadays is like it makes it so much easier to do that. And the other
I like
ones were
that,
like
yeah.
action and time, and like
Mhm.
it's like it takes time for you to be lucky, but you have to be there to like actually like closed mouths don't get fed.
Yeah, I think it's really easy to get swept up in the traditional path that you kind of lose yourself and your own identity. What advice would you give to high schools or college students? Maybe in your position that you were in when you were in high school. You're a bit more lost and you didn't really know your specific identity.
I guess I have two. I think one like I think it's more meaningful I guess to say that like I don't know like you can like make it out. I think that like like I could give all like the like little advice that could get you to be more consistent or like to become successful or make money or invest your money or like multiply. But I think that the main thing is that you should never believe like there is like something as like failure. I think you should always believe that like you can improve your life at every moment. There is no such thing as failure. There's only like being in a bad spot. And I think that's like the main thing I would have told myself. Because like I cannot like choose what will be good for like everyone universally in high school.
Right.
Like people like especially like people like me, like you can never really tell like where they'll be in like 5 years. Like if you met me in high school, you probably would think like I would have been homeless. But it's like you could have never given me advice to start content or like start a company. But like 2 years later, I'm doing that. I think other than that, like I would say like if you want to try everything like faster, I would do it with friends. I think the best way for people like me to like learn new things and try new things, or if like for Loki for everyone, is to
Mhm.
do it with friends and to do it with other people. And I think the more you do things with other people, it's like a spider web effect of like you meet more people through it, and eventually you have like more uncomfortable conversations, more friends that you make, and more things that you try. So I would
Mhm.
say like yeah, just try things with friends. So like if you can't do it alone.
Right. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, that's all the questions I have for you. Thank you so
Sick.
much for coming on the podcast
Yeah,
today.
of course.
Thank you guys so much for watching the episode, and I really hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the episode, please consider subscribing or following. And as always, we're having conversations that build the next generation. Peace out.